that's what it was. And the PG coach, in common with a lot of N&W rolling stock, was distinctive enough that nobody's ever modeled it commercially. Successful, accurate, prototypical. Okay. Now, the first thing you have to understand is I started modeling in 1946. Does anybody know what the medium was then?
Cardboard.
Wooden cardboard. Okay.
What about tin cans?
Well, those were bigger. That was for people who knew how to solder. I did. When polystyrene came along, I was intrigued by it, and I decided this is the way to go. I'm not going to learn to use 3D printers. For those of you who do, God bless you. You're advancing the hobby. But don't ask me to go there. I know what I'm doing. I enjoy what I'm doing. I encourage other people to learn what I have learned. But I've learned all I want to learn. Okay.
It's not like this is a hobby.
Well, the fellow says it's a nice hobby you got there. If it was a horse, you could get off of it. Okay, the PG coach was what we call a single window coach, which means there were not paired windows. So that eliminates a whole lot of the things that you would start with. The other thing that was distinctive about the PG was it had tall windows. So that eliminates a lot of other things you can start with. But in 1985 and 86 and 87, I didn't have a lot of things to start with. What we had then was we did have Athearn heavyweights. So I started with an Athearn heavyweight. And of course, the problem with the Athearn heavyweight is they're not long enough. And the windows are not tall enough, and they're not close enough together. So,
other than that, it's perfect.
So I started this car using Athearn parts about 87 years ago. And some of you can identify with this. It's not finished yet. But recently, talking to Grant Carpenter, I realized that he's going to need 2 PG coaches for trains 9 and 12 on the Pocahontas Division. And so I thought, all right, I'll finish the one that's based on Athearn parts, but I'll have to do another one. So here's the other one. And the reason I brought this like this is so you can see what had to be done. Every window on this is scratch built. And in order to do that, I had to cut away all the windows and letterboard in the Athearn shells. And I had to splice 2 together. And because Uncle Herb gave us all these ribs on top of the roof that N&W didn't use, I had to clean all those off. And because Uncle Herb gave us this one big box underneath, I found out that if I modified it a little bit, it's in the right place for the battery box on one side and for the water tank on the other. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put these back in the boxes and pass them so that you can look at them. But feel free to take them out of the box to examine them. But I'm passing them in the box for safety, okay? You understand what I'm saying? Okay. The fact that they're in the box doesn't mean you can't finger them. We just want the boxes for the passing. So I'm gonna pass both of these. I will say that if you're a rivet counter, the trucks are wrong. As a matter of fact, almost all the six-wheel trucks that you will find are wrong. The one that comes closest to being right is the MDC truck, the old modified tack distance truck, roundhouse, take your choice. But the thing that's wrong about it is no roller bearings. But then none of the other six-wheel trucks that you can find are gonna have roller bearings. So I could have shaved off the journal boxes and put all the others. But I'll go back to a conversation I had with